What's up, America? Neil
and Kim
from Geauga Firearms Academy. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to do a quick video on retention, holster retention levels. There's a lot of questions and misconceptions of what does that mean if I have a level 1, level 2, if you're new to concealed carry, or maybe you got a job in security or something and you want to kind of delve into what kind of holsters there are and manufacturers and what they do. So let's jump into it. Alright, so the first one we're going to talk about level 1, and basically all it is we're adding levels of retention, meaning that how many different types of devices or systems are keeping the gun from coming out of the holster. Mm-hmm. And obviously it goes without saying that we don't have to, the more levels that we add, it's going to add more draw time and whatever to get it out. The counter to that, of course, is that it's obviously more secure. Mm-hmm. So just like everything in CCW,
all about a balance.
Yeah, CCW or security, whatever, law enforcement, there still has to be a balance of, can I actually access this? I mean, we could obviously lock it into a safe and it would be super secure, but we're not going to get to it either. So that's the deal. So what are you holding there, Kim?
I got the new Alien Gear holster. We're going to do a review on this soon, comparing it to the Shape Shift. And
just to be clear, if you're not up to date on that, this is the 3.5. So this is actually the newest. It's kind of in between the 4 and the 3. We'll talk about the differences here, but it's so far looks very promising. Anyway, talking about that one, what level is that one?
This is level 1 retention.
And so what would the level 1 be?
You're just working off the friction of the gun and how tightly it's held to you.
And of course, you can adjust that on many different holsters. So as you can see here on the screw, as you can turn that to tighten or loosen it to adjust your retention. How do you do it on that particular Alien Gear holster?
On this particular one, they have like these little like rubber stoppers.
Yeah, grommets, whatever.
Grommets that you can change out and pick which size that you like and what fits you best. So you got to play with it a lot and just try it out, because sometimes people want to put it on really tight because they're so worried about it falling off. But then when you actually practice, dry fire at home, which you should be doing, they realize that it's too tight and they can't get it out right. So try it out and see what works for you. And
you want to get it out in time. So this is another example too. Those are the kind of hybrid holsters with the soft backing. Right now my regular carry gun, this is the M&P Compact, and I'm just running it on a full Kydex holster. So Kydex holster, same concept there. It's just molded to the gun, and it may or may not have a screw. So let's step it up. Now we're going to talk about level 2. Mm-hmm. So what would that be?
Level 2 is having some kind of thumb brake here, or there's a Serpa version where it's in the front. Which
we hate. Serpa is ridiculous. Don't buy a Serpa. Unless you... Anyway. All right. Now, what I do like are the standard... very rarely are you ever going to see law enforcement with the Serpa holster. I mean, everybody says that they're out there, but rarely ever going to see that. And you can make your own opinion. That's just mine. I like the thumb drive, which is what you're going to find in most professional setups, Safariland, whatever. This one is a Omnivore by Blackhawk. It's actually a really cool holster depending on your purpose. This is completely useless though.
CCW.
Yeah, there's no chance. But like for training, we use it a lot because people come to a class and they have the wrong holster where it's jacked up and whatever, and they make one with or without a light. So if you have a pistol with the light, so this one is set up for the TLR1. Any TRL1 light mounted to any gun, no matter how crazy or exotic it is, as long as it's there, it has its retention. So it's locked on the light. So it gives it a lot of user-friendly options in that regard. But is it as good as, say, like a Safariland, which we're going to show you in a minute, like a professional law enforcement holster? No. But it does have 2 retentions. So retention number 1 is...
the friction of the gun.
Right. And then the second one on this side you'll see is the thumb brake. Okay, so if I just try to grab the gun and pull it out, it's locked on that light. What I'd have to do then is depress the thumb brake down and then pull up on it. One thing that you're going to find when you work with this type of push button thumb brake, it comes with 3 different levels of height. And even though I have large hands, especially when you're moving fast, what typically will happen in this case is that the user will go ahead and press down all the way, but they bring their thumb up too fast and it locks the gun again. So you really have to use that to kind of push it down and release it. And I found that even with longer digits, it's better to have a longer medium size release in there. The short one, it kept catching me. It would relock before I could pull it out. So that's the deal. And then on the back of this holster, it's going to have a screw where you can actually adjust how tight and how loose you want to do it. So level 2.
Level 3 is going to be a friction, also a thumb release, and a hood.
Yeah, and most of the good ones that you want, the hood is spring-loaded. Now, to be clear, this is my duty holster here. This is a protective hood. This is different. I don't actually have the spring-loaded hood on this one, but there's actually a hood that goes in the back, so that when you go to draw the gun out, if that hood stays closed, you're literally pulling against it. This is just a protective guard hood, so that if someone were trying to grab the gun, it's keeping it away from the release mechanisms, which we're going to show you here in a second. I'll have some video here to kind of zoom up on it. And this one actually has an additional level of safety that you could add. This, by the way, is the Safariland. This is the T7. And what's nice about Safariland, which you're going to see on the vast majority of professional security and law enforcement, is that the mechanism locks into the ejection port. And what's nice about that is, even though this one is set up to have a light on it, if I take this light off, the retention is identical. It's the same because it doesn't matter whether the light's on or not. So that gives you a little bit of flexibility in that regard. We have friction on this one. Then we also have in this one a thumb brake. So there's a mechanism here that you'll see on the screen that I have to press back. And the nice thing about this particular thumb brake, it's very small and it works with a downward angle. So basically, as soon as you get your hand on there, as you make a natural grip, it will release. Okay. And now this one has also what's called a sentry lock, and it's basically a hooded mechanism that goes over top of the release. So even if I try to pull it out by using that the release, you can. It's protected. So I have to press that forward, and then that will release. You could, in fact, make it a level 4. I mean, I think that's ridiculous, but a level 4 would be the hood, the friction, the release, and the sentry lock. Okay. Typically, I just run this with the sentry lock forward. So my main mechanism is to release that and the friction. So Safariland has pretty much every holster, make and model you can possibly imagine, every configuration you can imagine. They're pricey, but that's for a reason. They make a quality, professional grade product. So there's other manufacturers, but Safariland is by far the most popular.
Also coming soon, we have some cool new cups. We have a coffee tumbler and a sports bottle. The sports bottle is really, really nice. Like it's pretty awesome.
These are not plastic, by the way.
They're not. They're actually
metal. So this is actually engraved. Pretty cool.
And you can put hot and cold drinks in either one, which is really nice. I stole this one already. Shh, don't tell anyone. But we're gonna get our logo. I mean, we have our logo. We're gonna get the saying put on the back, so it's gonna say, "I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6." So keep an eye out for those. They'll be out soon. We hope you guys found this video helpful. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and also press that little bell so every time we put out a video, you know about it. Because if you don't, somehow YouTube thinks you don't care about our videos.
Only gun videos.
Only gun videos. Just kidding. Of course, you can find us here on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook, on Instagram, and we put all of our premium content on Patreon. Until next time, remember, it's always better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6.